UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast, here on the United Planet Podcast Federation planet. I am your leader, Brandon Big Helmet. And joining me, as always, are my ever-constant
I'm glad you're not
co-hosts.
doing that the whole time.
Chrissy and Justin. Chrissy, how you doing? Looks like you got some orange goo all over you.
Yeah, I gotta get that cleaned up. But other than that, I'm okay.
Yes, excellent. Right on. Also joining us is Justin Oser, who I love podcasting with him because while I may not experience full molecular engorgement, I experience full engorgement of something else when I podcast with him.
Oh my God, Brandon, I don't hear what you're saying because holy bleep, I don't know how I could survive in the vacuum of space for so long, but I'm totally fine. Let me just catch my breath for a minute here. Okay, but what was that last thing you said that
Justin,
I tried to paper over that I didn't want to hear?
Once is enough. If we do it again,
Okay.
then we'll have to up our rating, to like at least, NC-17 or something like that. So we'll leave it the way it is.
NC-17, you make it sound like there's a visual component to this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to discuss tonight's episode, and we have got ourselves a very special guest today. I'm excited to have super comedian and super Star Trek fan Seth MacFarlane.
Oh,
Wait, you're not Seth MacFarlane. You're Aaron Reynolds.
hi.
Hey,
I just,
how are you doing, buddy?
there was a moment during your Pack-led intro where I almost dropped off the Zoom call. I was like, I don't know how much of this I can take.
I promise I'm done.
No, if you would have tried to do it for the whole episode, I would have dropped as well. So
Yeah, there would have been a mutiny.
There would have been a mutiny. Excellent. Well, I'm done. I'm done my Pack-led impression.
God.
I was pretty happy. That's pretty good.
Oh, it was-
Pack-led
It is
impression.
good.
It was terrific. It was terrific. I just, one of my favorite things about anytime I go on any kind of podcast where we're going to discuss Star Trek is that somehow there's always an episode that has something in it that is designed to like just frustrate me endlessly. And I don't know, we decided that we were going to do whatever this week's episode was so long ago. And then
Yeah.
I'm watching it today. I
Mhm.
watched it like half an hour ago and I was like, oh my God, Pack-leds? Really? Really? That's what I'm in for? Pack-leds? Like,
But they're the ultimate villain of the show.
Yeah.
That's
Aaron, I
guess that's
think
what
we're going to
with.
have some agreement here, but let's see. We'll get there.
Excellent, right on. Well, just in case you haven't figured it out, we are going to be discussing the episode today, which is called The Spy Humongous, which is from Season 2 of Lower Decks. Now, I got to ask, because we're covering Mad Max right now on my Franchise Fatigue podcast, I was looking for the Road Warrior connection here with the Lord Humongous from Road Warrior, but I didn't catch one. What do you think? Did I miss something?
no.
Haven't seen it.
Wasn't
No?
it?
Like, you haven't seen Road Warrior?
I haven't either.
Oh, I've seen Road
Oh, my
Warrior
goodness.
too many times, but I
That's the mid 80s one, right? Because
Early 80s, yep.
the new one was
Fury Road.
not Road Warrior.
2017.
Yeah, I saw Fury
something like
Road.
that.
Okay, but I did not see the old ones. Anyway, go ahead.
Excellent. Right on. Excellent. Well, before we do jump into our podcast discussion for the day, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make our show possible, particularly our associate producers, Justin Oser and David Willett. Thank you so much. Listeners, we'd love to add your name to this list, and we can do that with your monthly subscription of just $10 a month. Now, Justin, we've got some news here to talk about quickly. There are some Discovery and Prodigy panels coming to the New York Comic-Con.
That's
You wanna
right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it on here because, yes, we had Star Trek Day with lots of reveals and things, but last couple of years they have revealed some things at New York Comic Con, which this year is October 7th to 10th. So there's a Discovery panel. There'll be a cast panel. I assume maybe we'll get another trailer before it premieres in November. But also, there's going to be a Prodigy panel and a Prodigy premiere screening on October
Oh my.
9th for special people that we are not probably, but I thought that was truly interesting and something. Trying to think back, it's probably been a while before there's been a Star Trek episode that's been like premiered at a convention. It's something that happened like in the 60s with the original series a bit sometimes, and with TNG a little bit, but haven't had that for a long time, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
At a convention, yeah.
At a
they
convention,
did the Lower Decks one, but that was its own thing. So.
Yeah, that was like its own event. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Exciting stuff. We may have, some more news in a couple weeks from those panels. So
all the spoilers.
Yeah.
Aaron, are you excited for Prodigy?
I am. I'm sort of avoiding reading too much about it because I found that whenever
there's pack lids in it.
Of course there are. Whenever I find myself like looking too much at that stuff, people get really like, and I think it's a Star Trek thing. Star Trek fans get really wound up about a tiny nugget that they saw for 3 seconds in a trailer, and it somehow like spirals out into something. And I'm just like, I don't need that drama in my life. Maybe I will wait to just see it when it happens. I mean, I'm excited by the concept of it. It seems like it's going to be fun. I have an 11-year-old who's really enjoying watching Lower Decks with me. So, I mean, this is another project that will be, shareable with him. So, I'm good with it. I can't wait to see it. I'm sad that once again, I'm not invited to New York Comic Con. I'm a decidedly like my level of guestdom at Comic Cons is that I'm usually on the page 3 or 4 steps below whatever Power Rangers they have at the con. That's where I'm at. I'm not invited to New York Comic Con. I'm invited to Twin Cities Con in Minnesota. That's exciting. So I'm going to be doing that, but I'm not coming to the New York one.
Well, and we should say, because I don't know if you said this in the intro, Brandon, if listeners might know, that you're the guy responsible for Swear Trek. So, you should be of importance to these things because this is an important way that we experience Star Trek, right?
It's one of those things where when you achieve like internet famousness, it's really up to like who's heard of you and who hasn't heard of you. And there's going to be lots of people who haven't heard of you. And we're like, who the hell is this guy? So.
You know what you need to do? There needs to be like Swear Trek posts or GIFs that are all about conventions and just cussing them out for not including you.
For not inviting you.
And then tag them. Yeah. So it'll be fine.
like your Doug Jones joke.
My Doug Jones joke is very gentle. I like it a lot.
Excellent.
Anyway.
Right on. Awesome. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But I am also not been invited to the New York Comic Con. So, alas, I will be remaining in Regina, Saskatchewan. So, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. Well, I think that that's about it for news. So we're just going to jump into our discussion right now. Aaron, let's start with you. What are your initial thoughts, your first impressions on the Spy Humongous?
I found it amusing. I feel like I feel like last week's episode was really, really terrific, and so this week felt a little bit slighter in comparison for me. I don't know, how did you guys feel about last week? Was it something? What was your consensus? Was there one?
We had a whole mix. I really didn't like it actually, and I think Chrissy and Brandon liked it more than I do. I think you loved it, Brandon, right?
Which one was last week's one again?
Embarrassment of Duplers?
No, I did not like that
right.
one.
That's right. For once you agreed with me. That's right. You didn't like it.
Well, there you go.
I was the one who thought it was good.
You thought it was good.
Yes.
Yeah, and our guest.
You're the smart one.
True.
Anyways,
thank you.
I enjoyed it. I think that the best gags were weighted towards the end, and so like I felt really good about it once it was done. Particularly the prank call gag, I thought that ruled. Prank calling my least favorite character in all of Star Trek every franchise. I
have some things to say about this later.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
But
too.
I enjoyed it. It was it did make me not want to pull my hair out, even though it had my least favorite race of aliens in maybe all of Star Trek, the Packlids. I don't enjoy the Packlids. I don't enjoy spending time with the Packlids, and yet they used them well for some good jokes. I particularly liked the pack led who, once they brought him to the gift shop, stayed in the gift shop merchandise for the whole rest of the episode.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I want to know why they have a gift shop on a Starfleet vessel.
I thought that was a cool.
They have a holodeck.
You know what? Here's the thing: they have a gift shop on
okay.
Starfleet vessels that's now canon. So thank you, Lower Decks. That's what.
It's only canon for California class ships so far.
Oh, so that's fair. I do really appreciate, one of the things I appreciate most about Lower Decks is its attempt to shoehorn dumb things into canon. That's like I love that, and I love that we had the wolf looking thing with the creature from the Black Lagoon's ears. What race is that?
Are you talking about the Kzinti?
Yeah, he's a Kzinti from the animated series. I love the Kzinti
yeah.
from the animated series, but I didn't recognize him until he started mocking Boimler's posture and stooped all over. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's the Kzinti. I laughed so hard, and my kid couldn't figure out why. And I loved him. And last week, the bug alien from the animated series. I love any of those weird, just showing up in nondescript ways. And I really like that they had the guy from what's the race of the creatures from Shaka? What's the
Temerians?
I love that he has slipped into this pattern of just casually, I'm really feeling like simile, and then I love that dialogue whenever that comes along. So I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, he got to talk this week. That was nice.
Yeah, he got some lines.
Yeah, exactly.
First time since he was introduced.
Yeah.
Chrissy, what are your thoughts on the episode?
I liked it. I have some things to say about the Packleds. I think we're all maybe on the same page about the Packleds at this point.
No, Brandon loves the Packleds.
Well, as was evident, so maybe we're not on the same page. But no, I thought it was good. In the end, I felt like there was a very Trek feel to it, a very Trek message, that whole, actions speak louder than words kind of thing, which is certainly not invented by Trek, but reinforces some of those ideas. I came to a realization watching this, though, about the Packleds. And I think they're trying to put them forward as if they are the people who are not quite even casual Trek fans. They've heard of something called Trek. They know, they've heard of Spock, they've heard of Kirk, and they see a female captain and they automatically think it's Janeway. So it's kind of I don't know, I kind of got that feel to it the second time through that I watched it. It was just a little nudge at the people who maybe pretend to know what's going on with Trek. But I may be going too far on that one. I don't know.
Definitely hadn't thought of that.
Interesting way to look at it.
That's some
Justin, what are your
ground?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Justin, what are your thoughts?
Well, as has been my role, I guess, for most of these Lower Decks episodes, I really wasn't into this one for a number of reasons. We've mentioned it one already, the Packleds. I'm really tired of just putting forward the Packleds and just trying to laugh at them because they're so stupid. Because they, in this episode, they are just stereotypically Packled stupid. Giving up secrets and all this stuff that I really don't like that. I haven't liked that they were introduced last season and they're coming forward as this villain. I just can't take them seriously. I mean, and I also feel like it is this group where their defining characteristic is that they're stupid. And to me, that is just totally uninteresting and not funny. But anyway, that's just the Packleds. But then there was also this thing, this anomaly consolidation day, which I'm sure we'll talk about more. So people just leave weird, dangerous stuff on their desks and they walk in and pick it up. Why isn't this stuff behind a containment field? Where's the security for this? I know they're trying to make jokes and you're not supposed to take, but I could not for a moment suspend my disbelief about it because it seems so absolutely ridiculous. So those were two main parts of the episode and I just couldn't get into it. And then Boimler kind of finding his new group of friends, which he finds this group. It seems like he's going to like them and he goes back to his group of friends, which Lower Decks has done multiple times. And to me, that's just predictable and not interesting. And the Ta'ana line that I gave at the beginning when you introduced me, Brandon, was the only time I laughed in this episode. Everything else was just falling like a lead balloon for me. So sorry to be so negative. I try to be positive about these things. I like the Keishon got a few lines. Ta'ana was funny, but other than that, it wasn't for me.
Seeing the Zinti was nice. You can see that.
Yeah, seeing the Khazinti is great. Love that. Would like to see more of that.
I really enjoyed that. As soon as I made an assumption about what was going to happen in the Boimler off with his new group of friends plot, the show kicked it in the butt. It was the moment when the other three see Boimler leaving with the red shirts, and it looks like Mariner is going to be upset that he's gone off with them, and instead of being upset, she's mad at herself for not thinking of that way to ditch this terrible duty that she doesn't want to do. And I was like, oh, that's exactly right. That's a great little beat. I really enjoyed that. And I think that, the red shirts, I enjoyed the red shirts subplot just fine. Like, I did like that it was another subplot that ended with Boimler having to do the thing that he wanted to do least, or the thing that makes him the most upset, to save the day. I like all plots that end with Boimler having to, do something to deliberately humiliate himself to make things work.
Yeah.
Right on. Excellent. Well, yeah, so I enjoyed the episode a lot. It's not my favorite or anything like that, but I laughed quite a few times during the episode. I thought there was some great humor in it. I will absolutely agree with you guys. I don't like the Pakleds at all. I think that they are a stupid alien race, and it's just they're a one-note alien whose only gag is that they're stupid, and it doesn't work for me either.
Yeah.
So there was some funny things in it, like to me when they're like, oh my goodness, we just can't find him. He could be anywhere. And he's like outside the ship. I'm like, I wasn't expecting that. So I thought that was really funny, because again, it just kind of came out of nowhere. But I'm not a big fan of the Pakleds, and I don't understand why they decided to go for the Pakleds as this like reoccurring threat. Like, it's kind of
honestly
weird. So.
I think that they are using them because people don't like them. I think it's an active trolling. Like, I think it's like, what's like the crummiest, alien that we could set up as our villain? Oh yeah, Pakleds. Who likes the Pakleds? Nobody.
Yeah, but I think it could have been an opportunity to have something funny with the Pakleds that kind of subverts your expectations. Like, maybe there's only a certain group of them that aren't so smart, or there are certain ones that, I don't know, in some way are different, but having them just be the same kind of one-dimensional, they're not smart characters, just for me, like, automatically I kind of discount the whole subplot because I'm not into it. So I think it's an unfortunate decision, really. But
I thought for a minute we were going to find out that the Pakleds actually had some smart people when he vanished on them.
Yeah.
I thought, like, he's actually going to get one over on them, and it's their hubris that has done them in, thinking the Pakleds are so dumb. But then ultimately the Pakleds are so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't tell me that secret or anything. Oh my god, they're going to reveal it, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a trope in comedy too, where you're like, "Oh, better not tell me that." Oh, what do you mean, this thing here? Oops, I told you.
Cool, we've saved Earth. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
My favorite laugh in the whole thing, though, was the orange slug screaming.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought that was absolutely priceless. Just the scream was just perfect and just hilarious. So
there's a lot of screaming in this show, I've noticed.
Yeah.
But it's good screaming.
And that's, I don't know. It's like nightmare fuel for me, all these screams for some reason. Anyway.
I don't know.
I'm going to
Boimler's
step back for a minute here and let you guys talk about what you like in this thing.
I also really dug. What was the line about who among us hasn't been pooped out by what was it?
Yeah,
by a something alien slug.
That was disturbing to me, to be honest.
No scatological humor for Justin.
No, it's more like, this thing basically ate her and pooped her out, and it reminded me of what happened to Boimler in the first episode of the first season.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
it did me too. I think it was supposed to.
It was probably supposed to, but I didn't like that the first time. So.
I also like the quick shot in the background as Boimler's going by with the red shirts of the vomit on the ground.
Oh yeah,
that was a really great shot.
Funny but gross.
Yeah.
Justin's like, no.
So with the Captain Freeman plotline, so one thing that I really liked with this is how it all ended. And when she comes out and she's like, look, I just got off the phone with Starfleet and we did really good. They're very happy with how the mission turned out. And while we all agree the mission's like dumb, it felt nice to have a win for this ship. You know, like a good positive win, because, you know, like Aaron, one of the things that I've had trouble with in the show is that like all of these people on the ship seem incompetent. And so to me that conflicts with what I think Starfleet should be. And I mean, like, while not everybody can be Picard, I just don't believe that there would be a ship with this many incompetent people out there, you know, like to me, Starfleet is better than that. Right. So I want these people to win. I want these people to succeed. And so like, it was like a good moment at the end and I loved it. I really, truly loved it. It was a good, heartwarming moment for me. So that was a wonderful moment for me. So what'd you guys think?
I liked that moment too. And I was happy to see the crew get a win, however small it was. I do kind of think of the ship like, and Starfleet in general, like a baseball team. You know, even though there's only 30 teams in Major League Baseball, a couple of them have to suck every year. You know, a couple of them have to be really, really bad, even though they're made up of the best baseball players in the entire world. Some of them are just going to be terrible and seem incompetent and, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I feel like that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing whoever's at the bottom of the standings.
Maybe, but I mean, I think even to be in the bottom of the standings in like Major League Baseball, you have to have a certain level of competence, like know how to, you know, hit and pitch and field, you know, sometimes, right? But not everybody can win. But sometimes it feels like with Lower Decks, just for the comedy, that they're just like putting themselves in danger, or dangerous things are happening. Like the anomaly consolidation, I feel like that's a huge failure of like whoever is managing stuff on the ship. And if that's a Starfleet policy, that's a big problem as well. So I feel like it's just like fundamental stuff that is going awry just for the comedy.
Right. But I think the thing about that whole plot line isn't that something that we see? Don't we see things on people's desks in all the series that definitely should not be there? You know, don't we see that? Don't we see people with alien artifacts that they've kept from their trips and stuff like that? Like,
I mean, potentially, but not like, let's group it all together on our desks on one day and just throw some people at it. It just felt like I don't know. And they just expected, like, you know, there's going to be some crazy stuff. Maybe somebody's going to get shocked or pooped out or turn into something. That's just what happens. Like, they're just tolerating that this stuff just happens, like, every year.
Oh, I
don't know.
I love that part of it. That part really worked for me because that seemed like such a... Because there are so many... The thing about Star Trek is, like, we take some of the series very seriously, and yet there are so many things that just, like, wouldn't work out, and I think this is one of them. And
I agree. But what it feels like is in all the Star Trek shows, there are certain things that are silly or that feel, you know, weird or like, oh, that's kind of funny that it's like that. But Lower Decks is like a consolidation of like something very concentrated, like put all that together, and it just, I don't know, it just goes too far for me to suspend my disbelief about. But
yeah, no, I was just thinking about how I don't think it's a ship full of incompetence. I think it's a ship that we see the people who are in charge and they are incompetent. But if you think about what is required to keep that running, just like to keep it going somewhere and keep everybody having oxygen and gravity, there's competent people there. There have to be. And it's the people on top that don't know what they're doing. And I feel like I know I've worked in places that function that way. I'm sure you guys have too. So what it feels like is there's competence on keeping like the physical systems going, but there's incompetence in like management decisions. Yeah. And I think that's intentional. I think that's what makes it like the office workplace comedy.
Yeah, and that's what fundamentally I don't like about this show, because I don't want to see that in a Star Trek show. I'm just not as interested. I know you're rolling your eyes, Chrissy, but like this is something that's bothered me from the beginning. No, that's okay. It's something that's bothered me from the beginning. Like, there are other ways that this could be funny without making it so that there are people making really bad decisions like every single episode. So anyway,
I won't disagree.
I'll step down off my soapbox.
I mean,
so I really Oh,
I
go
was
ahead.
just going to say that I worked for the most profitable company in the world for 13 years.
And I'm sure it was a mess behind the scenes, right?
At the very top, there are very, very smart people. But in the middle, wow, it's a shit show. Like a huge shit show. And so I relate to everything on Lower Decks in terms of that.
And Aaron, like I totally agree, because I've worked at companies where, like, on the outside it looks like everything's perfect, but on the inside there's so much that it's a mess, that it's like, how does this company keep functioning? I totally get that, but I just don't like kind of transferring that to what we see in Star Trek, because what I get the most out of Star Trek is something I can aspire to, something I can admire, and I don't admire a lot of what's going on
that
here.
Idealized world is broken for you by Lower Decks.
But like, and I probably mentioned it before, but what I would have liked more is if we got like the Starfleet characters that we're used to, but the comedy comes from all the incredibly bizarre aliens and stuff that they encounter, right? But it's not like they're making bad decisions on the ship. It's just like there's weird and bizarre stuff that they've never seen before, and that's the source of the comedy, which is what I would prefer. But anyway.
Arguably, the big orange screaming thing was something we have not seen before.
I loved it. I love these big orange.
Just as an example.
I want a plushie. I want a plushie of that screams every time I squeeze it.
I want to erase it from my memory forever.
I have a moratorium on internet joke T-shirts, and yes, the first person who produces a T-shirt with the orange screaming snail on it, I'm buying it.
So while I do agree with Justin in that, like, that's the hard part of the show for me. Like, as I've said, Aaron, on the podcast before, like, I've come to terms that where this is just a comedy with a Star Trek theme to it. Like, to me, this does not take place within any form of continuity.
It's totally
just
canon,
a funny
Brandon.
show.
It's totally
right?
canon.
So that's fine. But
I think it's canon too.
I loved the anomaly consolidation duty. I thought it was hilarious. I thought all of it was hilarious. Just basically every joke on it hit all the right tones for me, starting with Rutherford and his engorgement. Like, it just was, I wasn't expecting anything like that. It worked perfectly. Just the stuff that he was saying. I wish I could have written down. I'm sure Justin's got the dialogue there, but like, just the stuff that he was saying when he was, like, engorged, and them having fun. And, like, but then this is also where the most frustrating aspect of the episode came in for me, in that, like, I'm upset at Mariner again, like, really, really upset at Mariner, because, like, I'm a person where I work. There's a lot of negative people where I work, and there's a lot of people that hate their job and complain about their job all the time. And I'm a person who loves the job that he is in right now, and I think I'm a very positive person in the position that I'm in. And so I try and exude that at my job. I try and stay positive and make other people happy as well. And so for Mariner to come in and, like, get mad at Tendi for enjoying her job, like, really frustrated me, because it felt like a really bad thing for her to do, because Tendi is really enjoying what she's doing, and then she made Tendi feel bad for enjoying her job, and that really frustrated me.
Well, I think that was part of the episode too, right? Because she apologizes for doing it in the end.
Yes.
One of the rare occasions she recognizes what she's done wrong there, and I appreciate that. So.
Yeah, but will she keep doing things like that in future episodes?
Well, of course she will, because that's her character.
But no, I can see that, Brendan. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that she said it's the most degrading day of the year, after we've seen her have to clean the holodeck filters. So that was the first thing that came to mind for me. I was like, really? This is worse. Okay.
You know what? I think people should have to clean their own holodeck filters each time after they're done, and that'll make them think about what they do there.
I
Is this worth it if I have to clean it up later?
Takes the magic out of the holodeck, though, really.
Okay, but
come on. Do you want to clean up somebody else's stuff after they're done with the holodeck? I'm going to guess not.
I thank the Lord that the holodeck is not real and I don't have to make these decisions.
Yet. But sorry, Chrissy, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Going along with the holodeck and this whole thing about the rest of it, we had it established in Up the Long Ladder. The ship cleans itself. Well, good for the bloody ship, right? Apparently it doesn't. We have established
apparently it doesn't on a California class ship.
Right. Maybe Galaxy class it cleans itself. The rest of them they can't. But All I want to know
Flagship
is
itself means, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. So what happened to our fully automated space communism? I mean, come on. We gotta. Nobody. Okay.
I think it's like one of those
automated
things
space
where it's going to be you have to write an angry letter, and then they can turn it into a joke later. Like on Batman 66, when the kid wrote in the letter about how is it possible that when Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson slide down the poles, that when they come out on the other end, they have their costumes on. And so they put a switch halfway down that they can hit that says instant costume change lever. And that's in season 2 onwards. There's this switch there that they hit on the way past.
Really? Oh,
wow.
I didn't know about that.
That's an absurd act of trolling that I am so there for. And, I think that if you tweet a bunch at Mike McMahon, maybe you can.
I mean, he does see he does see and respond to some of these things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's true.
That's funny. Yes.
Thankfully, he does not know about my extreme dislike for the show, I think, so far. I try not to tag people.
I don't think
like
he would
that.
hold it against you, because I have a feeling he's heard a lot worse than anything you would ever dream of saying.
You're probably right.
I think one of the
An
things,
extreme dislike may be harsh, but
when you write humor, I think that if you are going to write humor with any regularity, you have to really get used to the idea that humor does not work universally. Like the joke that lands for everybody is generally not a great joke. It's a
I think that joke does not exist, Aaron.
Yeah, well,
no,
there's a couple of jokes that everybody can recognize as a joke, but nobody's going to think is the greatest joke. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
I meant actually laughing at the joke.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Well, I disagree. I definitely have that joke.
I want to hear it now. I want to hear it. What is it?
What do you call a cow that just had babies?
What?
Don't know.
Decaffeinated.
Oh, wow.
I'm not laughing.
This grasshopper goes into a bar, and the bartender says, "Hey, we got a drink named after you here." And the grasshopper says, "You got a drink named Steve?" So anyway,
that one's good. Let's just tell jokes for the next half hour.
Do it.
Do that.
Okay, so Boimler's plotline, finding the new group of friends. So let's jump to that topic here. So, I again with the ending of this, so I thought this was an interesting plot line, that there'd be this group of people that thinks of themselves as better than other people because they're red shirts, right? Because red shirts are the command era, right? They're the people that are going to get into command at this time, right? So I think that's interesting. I don't agree with it, right? But I mean, I think it's interesting that you got people like that. And again, with our crew and our positive people and whatnot, Boimler comes in and turns it on its head and shows these people, hey, what you're doing is not right. And Boimler is of the same caliber as Tendi, where he's he does love his job a lot, and he gives it his full gusto. He gives it his all when he does it. And he's he knew that the antidote for this box was to make her laugh. And so he did everything he could to stop the situation. So I thought that was a nice end to that plot line as well.
I
just have one question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, when they made him over and changed his hair and all that, did they give him fake muscles underneath his uniform? Is that what was going on?
No,
I think he's really that ripped.
They tailored it to reveal his muscles.
Yeah.
So he's already ripped, but it wasn't tailored that way. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But sorry, Aaron, go ahead. I just had to answer that in my head.
No, that's okay. I was going to say that I also recognized that entire the clique of people who are trying to get on the management track by acting like the management. I recognized that instantly, and I was like, "Oh God, I hate these people. I know them, and I hate them." And I was so glad that most of them decided to leave the 5 o'clock shadow guy. I also, on the subject of tailoring and it showing off your muscles, I have a Star Trek Into Darkness uniform from the production of the movie, and when I put that thing on, I look ripped because it's jumbo spandex and it's tight in exactly the right places, and it is the most flattering piece of clothing I think I will ever own.
Could you breathe while you were wearing it?
Not really. Nope. I'm like,
that's
man,
so interesting. So it is real.
I feel bad that I can only wear this at Comic Cons, because I want to wear this in my daily life.
Yeah. So basically, they just used similar measurements from movies from hundreds of years before for actual costumes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, we all have the capacity to put on something that actually fits or doesn't. I live in T-shirts and jeans, but
Yeah, I do
if
too.
I put on like a decent looking shirt, you can actually see that I have somewhat of a feminine figure. So, but you can't see that in a T-shirt and jeans because I intentionally stay kind of grubby and comfortable.
Because it's comfortable to be able to breathe.
Well, you don't have to not be able to breathe.
Oh, I know. I'm making a joke, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. You made me think of corsets, and that's a whole other thing. So.
No, that's a whole other thing. But no, it's very
19th
interesting
century.
to know from your experience, Aaron, that is a real thing that you could do. Okay. So they just told the replicator, like, give us
little tighter across the chest,
a ripped tunic.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay.
See, and the only thing that I have is the Star Trek 2 shirt that actually just imprinted Ricardo Montalban's abs on the front of the T-shirt. So that's the best
great.
that I can do. So
Love that.
Works just as well. I like how you said that thing about the management because the second time around that I watched the episode, all I could think of was, what did you call him? The 5 o'clock shadow guy? I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah. I can't remember his name either.
Casey.
Casey. Okay, yeah. So I've been rewatching Mad Men. He's Pete Campbell, 100%. He's brown nosing. He's trying to figure out how to be exactly who Ransom wants. So it's beautiful. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That's why he has the 5 o'clock shadow. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
he's got more hair than Pete Campbell, though.
That's true. Well, not at the beginning. He's got more hair than him at the end.
Oh, fair. That's fair. So Justin knows exactly what we're talking about because he's definitely.
Oh, Justin, you haven't seen Mad Men?
Seen it. No, we've gone over this before. There's a lot of stuff from the last 20 years.
No, I
haven't
realize.
seen. Like, I'm rewatching Star Trek on a loop. All the other stuff, I'm like, la, I don't know what it is. Don't care. Really. It's my life.
I think you would enjoy Mad Men. There are a few parts you would probably go, oh, but you're supposed to. Because it's supposed to be showing something really, like,
so when I stop a perpetual Star Trek rewatching New Trek in about 50 years, maybe I'll get to it.
Maybe we'll get to it.
Well, by then you'll be able to experience it in the holodeck.
Oh.
Are you not watching even The Expanse or anything like that?
Nope.
All Star Trek all the time, baby.
That's not entirely true, because
man cannot live on Star Trek alone.
Well, I don't watch Star Trek.
great.
Like, when I'm by myself, Star Trek is pretty much what I watch. But that's not entirely what I watch. Okay, if we were going to go on a little tangent, I hope to take care of my mother-in-law. And she's not watching Star Trek. Yeah. She's watching, like, Golden Girls and Everybody Loves Raymond and, like, stuff like that, right, on a loop. And MASH and things like that. So I do watch that kind of stuff, but not newer stuff.
Begrudgingly.
The episode of Everybody Loves Raymond where the what's his name's girlfriend eats the fly, I think is the single funniest thing I've seen in my life. Oh my god, it's so good. Only Raymond sees her eat the fly, and so he's like he keeps trying to tell his brother that he saw his brother's girlfriend eat a fly, and his brother's just like, why are you trying to ruin this for me? Why do you always try to ruin everything I have? And it's just like amazing. And it just escalates and escalates and escalates. And it's such a terrible idea. And it's so perfect. I love it.
Oh, guess I'll have to look for that one, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
All right. But getting
Justin,
back to... Go ahead.
You missed your point there, which was to say you have a life outside of television.
Oh, I do. I do.
No, that's what I'm saying. Compared to the rest of us, you do. That was a compliment. It was.
Oh, okay.
Aww.
Well, I mean, had more than Star Trek. We could talk about music for a long time, but that's a whole other thing.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's like the third wheel of my life.
We digress, but in a good way.
Brandon, reel it back in.
Reel it back in. So before we jump into the canon connections, I mean, like,
no,
so
I
that's
had
the thing
something I
about this
wanted to
episode.
talk about before we got to that.
Some of the other stuff.
Before we jump into the canon connections, so I mean, that's the thing about this episode. There's not a lot here. Right? Like,
Agreed?
it's pretty basic, standard, simple kind of plot line and whatnot. But is there anything that we've missed talking about that you guys want to discuss? Justin, you've got some.
But no, go ahead, Chrissy.
Just before we get away from Boimler and the red shirts, I thought it was very interesting that they approach him immediately after he has been treated poorly by Mariner and his other friends.
Okay.
And so I think he's in a mindset of like, God, they were mean. That's not nice. And then these other people are saying like, hey, you're cool. You're great. Come with us. And it's just an interesting setup there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
With that, I'm glad it didn't turn out what I was expecting. So what I was expecting is them being the cool kids, seeing him with oatmeal or whatever all over him. I was expecting them to be using him to pull the rug out from underneath him by the end of the episode.
Really?
Yes.
And I'm glad that it did. Yeah, I'm glad it didn't turn out that way. They're like, oh, you're Boiler. And then they were just going to be using him to make a fool of him or something like that is what I was expecting to happen. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
And I did like that at least some of their advice to him was good advice. Like they got him to deliver a pretty rousing speech, even though it wasn't his own speech. And they did make him look good.
He's totally
Stand up straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean he was channeling his inner Riker, I guess. But that I kind of like that part because the way they wrote it, it's like, yeah, that could totally be in a Trek episode with a captain just trying to motivate everybody before they go into a big battle or something, right?
Yeah.
So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right, Justin.
I have a bone to pick about something. And I know you mentioned before you thought it was really funny, Aaron. And what I'm going to say is in all seriousness. So the prank call with Armis at the end. So let's go back a little bit because I think Skin of Evil is actually a really good episode. I think it gets unfairly maligned a lot of times. So basically in that episode, Armis is kind of this entity with all of the bad and evil that were thrown off by the people that left him behind. So I find it to be like a profoundly kind of sad and tortured kind of character, right? So for them to pick, like, out of anybody to prank call this kind of really sad and tortured individual who I actually feel a lot for because all of this was put onto him, I got actually kind of upset about that. I was like, why are they doing something like this to this being that is in all kinds of pain and loneliness and like all of that? And like, I know it was supposed to be funny, but for me, like, it made me upset. So I just wanted to put that out there, that's how it affected me.
And you know, what's interesting about that is that it's been a very long time since I've seen Skin of Evil. And I had not remembered any of what you just said about the origins of that creature until you said them. Yeah. And what I remember of that character is it's the garbage bag that speaks with a mean voice and ate Tasha Yar. That's all that is there in my head for that character. And so I can see why that doesn't work for you. If you hold on to like an amount of empathy for the way that character was created, then this is definitely punching down, right? Beating up on somebody who got the crap end of it.
Yeah. At least that's the way I saw it. So anyway, just wanted to put it out there because I know other people were like, oh, it's so funny. They're prank calling that guy, Hait Armis, who killed Tasha. And I think even Denise Crosby was like, yeah, like she's like, whenever they mentioned Armis and Lower Decks and stuff like that. So, but yeah, like this is a being that killed Tasha Yar, and that's terrible, but it's also someone that is in, a lot of pain and suffering. And so I wish they would have picked somebody else. I don't know. Kivas Fajo, let's say. Let's beat up on him.
Oh, this would have been an opportunity to do a Simpsons thing on Quark.
Prank call Quark. Yep.
Yeah, like Mo.
That could have been fun.
That would have been funny.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah. So anyway.
I love Skin of Evil as well.
I think we all have to give somebody to prank call at this point.
Yeah. Oh, another character?
Yeah.
I think that they should prank call Jellicoe.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be really good. That would be, wow. That trumps anything that I would have. Oh, man. I want to prank call the F. Murray Abraham guy from Insurrection.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Tight skin. Yeah. What was his name?
While he's in the chair.
Yeah. While he's in the chair. Yeah, exactly. Call him while he's getting his skin stretched in the chair.
You don't look any better. Yeah.
Perfect. That's funny. I thought it was interesting that you went there with the Armis thing because I too did forget that he's the Skin of Evil. He's the leftovers from the beautiful
he's like
people that left.
All the like negativity and like difficulty and like all the negative stuff that's in this creature, like that's what they left, which is a really sad thing to do.
And it's a very Trek idea.
Star Trek idea. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So iconically Trek, actually.
Yeah.
But the first time I watched this, I was like, wow, that really like diminishes Yar's death. Yet again, to make fun of Armis in that way and have him, it made me think of was the end of episode 3 with whiny Anakin when he first becomes Vader. That's what it made me think of. And then the second time I watched it, I realized it does. One thing that we always hear about Yar's death when it comes back to it is that it was pointless. And it was for no good reason. It wasn't like, yes, she died in the line of duty, but it wasn't like some
that's
kind of...
That's one of the things that's so powerful about it, though, because it could happen at any time for even no reason at all. Space is dangerous, right? Yeah.
Right. And I think this actually reinforces it because it's this entity, this creature that is so... I'm not
evil.
No,
Evil?
is so like has so little of anything, that he's falling for this prank call that's coming out of nowhere. He is a pathetic creature in himself, and so I felt like it reinforced that idea of the pointlessness and actually did. I'm not going to say make me feel better about Yar's death, but it felt better about having Armus there in that context the second time than the first time I watched it.
That's interesting.
But I do completely see where you're coming from. That is something that's forgotten about that episode because it's always, that's the thing that killed Yar. And the other thing that I always remember is that's the thing what Jonathan Frakes talks about being printer's ink and Metamucil.
Printer's ink and
sand.
Metamucil.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
Can't believe he did that. That's commitment. But yeah. But Brandon, you were going to say something about it?
Yeah, so I love Skin of Evil. I think it's a great episode. I did think this was a funny joke at the end of it, though, as well. But since we're talking about Armus, there is actually a book that I've put my own headcanon on as to where Armus came from, and I can't remember the name of the alien species right now, but I remember the book.
It's in one of the novels?
It's in one of the novels that made me think of this. And it's just the description of the alien species. So the novel is in Una McCormack's Brinkmanship.
Is it? Okay.
And I think it's the Zenkethi because they're described as like this really beautiful race. And so like as soon as I read that in the novel, I'm like, geez, I wonder if the Zenkethi are the origin of Armus.
Oh, that would be interesting.
So,
I like that. That kind of just raised the hair on my arms. I like that a lot. That's good.
So that was always my headcanon. As soon as I read Brinkmanship
I read that many years ago. I didn't remember that part. That's cool. Yeah.
Oh, maybe we can get an Armus spin-off series.
I love it.
A short trek.
It's got to be a comedy.
Yeah, it's got to be a sitcom. Some people come
like
by.
The Odd Couple.
Some people come by. They get trapped there, and they have to deal with Armus.
I think that the funny joke that they should do every episode that's a continuity would be like they slip on him, and like what do they fall into when they slip?
God.
1 week it's a cake,
Something
the other week it's a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
A
bowl of hot beans.
There you go, bowl of hot beans.
I'll
bringing it around. Yeah. So, okay, canon connections. Let's bring it back to the episode.
Wait,
Good job, Chrissy.
One other thing.
Okay.
Very obvious missed opportunity for the end of the episode to have the stuff that they collected being taken to an Indiana Jones style locker. Full of not locker,
some facility.
Storehouse. Facility. Yeah.
Because they talk about it going to a facility, but you don't see that.
Right. Yeah. So that would have been maybe too obvious, but cool.
Yeah. And they have this little cart. Is that cart big enough for all the stuff that they have? But anyway.
It's like Hermione's purse. You can just put stuff in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just stores it temporarily in a different dimension or something. But yeah.
You enlarge the snail, you put all the stuff in the snail, and then you shrink the snail back down.
There we go. But no, that would have been interesting. Yeah. So.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Justin, you got the list of canon connections?
I don't. I mean, like I've said with Lower Decks, like there's a ton of references, but and I usually will pick out one or two, but the one that I enjoyed the most, Kazinti, we've already seen them in another episode. There was nothing new in here that I wanted to point to as a canon connection. Sorry.
Crimson
I watched
Force
it twice and I didn't catch anything else. So yeah.
The Crimson Force Field.
The Crimson Force Field?
Yeah, but it's a Packlet connection, so
Okay.
I can't believe they would still believe in that.
I thought I was missing something with the artifacts. I was like, am I supposed to recognize these? I feel like I'm supposed to recognize.
I don't know if any of them were really. Yeah. So
there wasn't a Star Trek episode with the three little pigs in it.
And the way she said that, "Oh, it's one of those books that does this," I was like, "Is that a Voyager episode? Was that a Voyager episode?" Because
that kind of feels like the Flotter, whatever Those.
Oh my God!
yeah.
Don't bring up Flutter, please.
Oh, I love
There you
that.
go.
I
There's
love that
somebody in Star
episode,
Trek.
Aaron. I love that
Somebody
episode.
in Star Trek that I dislike more than the Packlets.
Oh my
100%
God.
Flutter and Trevis. That's his name, right? Trevis.
Trevis, yeah.
Yes.
I rewatched it recently, and I'm sorry, I feel completely the opposite. I absolutely love that episode.
What a surprise!
Those are terrible episodes. Terrible.
No, they aren't. I love it because this is a total tangent, of course, but just kind of seeing Naomi's perspective and how she goes through things. I love that episode. And you can't convince me otherwise.
I really I saw what it was
try.
going
That's all
for, and I just felt like it didn't get there. But I respected that it tried to go there. But I just the actual characters in execution of Flutter and Trevis. No, I want to burn down the forest myself.
Maybe you're Armis.
Maybe I am Armis. It's true.
Irish Town is way better than Trevis and Flutter.
Yes, I agree.
Fairhaven. Oh my
Fairhaven.
God, that's
100%.
a place I would burn down that place. I hate that episode. The
He
stereotypes
burns down
there
that
are
and
just so
rebuilds
awful.
Trevis.
It's a holodeck recreation. You can just turn it off or delete it. You don't have to burn it.
Same thing with. Yeah, okay.
I took a whole bunch of clips from that episode with Fairhaven, and I just bleeped words out of them to make them really foul, and it's terrific.
Okay, I'm on board for that.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go kiss a cow, Justin?
No.
No. Okay. That's
But yeah, like it's
nice.
funny because this was probably the Lower Decks episode so far that seemed to have the fewest Easter eggs in it.
Yeah, I missed it. Aaron, did you catch anything other than Kazinti?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, I mean there was like
Chrissy?
There need to be a Spock helmet or something in there.
He was on the Enterprise D bridge in his dream of giving the speech, and the Crimson Force Field. So.
Yeah, it was only like a few things here and there.
It's like the broken sword. Is the broken sword from something? But
Yeah, I was expecting that. I'm like, I don't know what that is either. I was also looking
so.
at all those things, and I just didn't catch anything. So I didn't catch anything. So listeners, post on the.
Well, apparently
Facebook.
Ransom mentions a Tal Shiar at one point.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a few, which is pretty interesting because some of them have been so chock full you couldn't list them all.
I think that kind of humor only goes so far. So it's absolutely okay to take a break from it.
Don't worry, we'll have 1,000 next week.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure.
The first season of that 70s show, before they figured out who all the characters were, when all the jokes were, I'm going to listen to this on an 8-track. And that's the extent of the joke. It's like, that's, you can't do that very often. And so just referring to things, I mean, it's fun, but at the same time, like, you can only do so much. And, it starts to really diminish in power, especially if you're using it as punchlines.
Yep.
Awesome. Anybody have any final thoughts on the episode?
I hope I like the next one better. That's my final thought.
Before we go into final thoughts, I have not a Chrissy's History Corner, but a Chrissy's This is Political Commentary Corner.
Chrissy's This is
I'm
Political
sorry,
Commentary
I
Corner.
neglected to put on the outline, but it was something I just thought of when I was rewatching before.
Chrissy's Pack-Led Corner.
Yes, Packlets. Let's talk about the Packlets.
Okay.
Justin, you will appreciate the context I'm giving this. Okay.
Okay, I'm
Do
listening.
any of you watch this with the closed captions on?
I had mine on, but it
particular
didn't
one.
have all the closed captions. It didn't have all the words. So.
But I have the transcript.
Yes, you take the transcript. So you can look in the transcript and see if this shows up. The Pack-Led were speaking misspelled words. And
sorry, what do you mean speaking misspelled words? Do you mean mispronouncing?
They said revolution.
Revolution.
And I just boiled that down to them being stupid.
Right, but there's a reason that you think that. And there's a reason that is a context with this. Okay, so they said revolution. The idea of their planet is just called the place where we come from, basically.
Pack-Led planet?
Pack-Led planet, yep. There was another, the marsh, what was it? What did he, the rotten...
Hold on, I think I can find it.
The rotten mushroom, but it wasn't a mushroom, it was something...
Mush fruit,
yeah. And there was something else that was spelled incorrectly. Anyway.
I mean, mush fruit could be a thing that's different than...
Yeah, so that's not what I was thinking of. But around that time...
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, they speak spelled incorrectly. And they... all I could think of was... Again, this is the second time I watched it, because the first time I'm like, okay, I'm just going to enjoy. The second time is when I start thinking harder about it.
Don't say Canadians. Don't say Canadians.
No, I'm not going to say Canadians. I'm not going to say Canadians. No. The Packlids are a minstrel show. The Packlids are the way. The Packlids are the way that Black people are portrayed in a lot of literature from the post-Civil War period, pre-Civil War period, but post-Civil War, post-Reconstruction, nadir of race relations, Gone with the Wind, getting how many, Oscars, that era. And if you think about the way, have everybody seen Gone with the Wind here, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That one at least. Yeah. And
it's old enough. I've seen it.
Right. It's only like 80-something years old. No. Yeah. Listeners, if you haven't seen or read or both Gone with the Wind, it is worth encountering and experiencing, even though it is terribly racist, because it does have that, it gives you a feel for the time that it was produced. Yeah. And it is a beautiful, it's a work of art. It's just got a really bad message. A lot of it. But all I can think of, when they were coming through, and they said revolution, and it brought to mind, and I forgot her name, the maid, Chrissie, the maid, coming back when she can't get the doctor when Melanie's in labor, and she's just singing, and she's not paying attention to anything, and she's stupid, and it is thrown in your face that she's stupid, and even Mammy is stupid, for as much as she is beloved as a slave by Scarlett and Rhett and the rest. She's stupid. And Uncle George is stupid because he's chasing that chicken around the yard for Christmas dinner. And I mean, you go through the whole thing. And I know I'm focusing on Gone with the Wind here, but oh my God, these people are in blackface. That's what it is.
You're making this a lot worse than I thought it was.
I know. And I was like, oh, God.
But I mean, I think that's one of the things. So, if we go back to Samaritan Snare, where the Packlids were first introduced, I think the first time I saw the episode, I did think it was kind of funny, because I was like, who are these people? Like, what is going on? And, the Enterprise D crew is like, can you believe these guys, right? But then, like, as I rewatched it much later and thought about it, I was like, it almost seems like they're just making fun of a whole group of people just for not being smart, or maybe people who are like developmentally disabled or things like that, right? There's something,
and that's usually the connection
like
that's
a
made,
dark undercurrent to it, right? And so is this the because for these Star Trek shows, we're seeing it from the perspective of the Starfleet crews. Is this how they perceive this other group? And maybe they're not actually completely like that, but we're getting their perception, much like what you're talking about. Authors and creative people would see Black people as like, they're all stupid and, speak like this and all of that, which of course you can't do that for any group of people. Like, every group has a mix of all kinds of different people, right?
Yeah.
And so just having a whole group of people that is known for just not being smart, it bothers me, and probably more now that you've made that connection. I'm like, whoa.
Well, okay. I didn't mean for it to bother you more, but
that's
I'm
okay.
hoping.
I mean, on the bother me meter, it was already close to 10. Yeah, it's just nudged a little bit closer to 10.
Yeah. Like, I haven't seen Gone with the Wind in like 20-some years. I saw it once when I was like in my late teens or early 20s or whatever. I haven't seen it again. So I don't remember these characters that you're talking about. Right. Yeah. But for what you're saying, Chrissie, though, like, and I guess I don't know any different, right? But I've always interpreted that when they write down words like that, they're not misspelling them to show that they think they're stupid. They're misspelling them as in like their accent that they're using, like this Southern Black accent or whatever. And so I didn't get that out of the Packlids. I got the stupid because they're combining the words rebellion and revolution, right? So I just didn't get what you're getting.
Now, see, I didn't get that at all. I thought they just replaced the V with a B.
No, yeah, they're too stupid that they don't know the difference between a rebellion and a revolution, right? So they're saying revolution. That's what I got out of it, right? So
I mean, maybe it has the characteristics of a rebellion and a revolution at the same time, but anyway.
Yeah.
No, maybe I went too far with it, but you may be right, and I'm taking it too heavy.
No. I mean, I think there is something that's disturbing about saying like an entire group of people is stupid. Like, I really don't.
And
like
I think
that
one
idea.
of the things is like, if you want to create a whole group of characters who are all stupid and then make fun of them for being stupid, it very quickly turns into punching down. right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that that's some of why Packlet episodes irritate me. Like I think that that's part of it. It's like, I don't know that there's any like redeeming part for their dumbness. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that there's any. But I mean, the hard part is in terms of Lower Decks, and not to hand wave it away, but like the thing about Lower Decks is it's taking things that already exist and putting a funnier spin on them. And so they are taking a race of characters from Next Generation who are horrible, and giving them a starring role. And I think about
this though. They can bring forward the Packleds because it's like, oh, it's that race. They're alien people, and they do this. Could they bring forward the kind of alien race from Code of Honor and deal with that? I don't think so. But I mean, I think in a similar way that episode plays on a lot of stereotypes as well, but it happens that this Pack-led stereotype is okay to bring forward, and there are certain others that they probably wouldn't touch, which I think is pretty interesting.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think it's okay to bring this Pack-led stereotype forward. Like, I think
I don't either. But
yeah.
if they brought forward the race from Code of Honor, and were like, hey, look at them, like there would be general outrage, and I think just about nobody would like it, but people like the Pack-led stuff. But I see it as a similar kind of thing where you're trying to make a group of people fit into certain stereotypes. But
right,
I think just for Code of Honor, I think there could be a context there, and maybe just because the first thing I thought of when you said that was one of those Mariner flashbacks about what she's had to do in her previous missions, and I could definitely see her as Tasha Yar having the fight with the wife, and I think that's about the only context that it would work.
I don't know.
But maybe that's because I'm looking at that and saying that's okay because Mariner's black. And maybe I'm not.
But it's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that that's why it popped in my head that was. Yeah. And then on thinking at it beyond that, and I'm like, no, maybe not. There was a challenge
for the writers' room of Lower Decks.
No,
make a good joke about Code of Honor that doesn't upset people and is in some way redeemable.
Isn't racist. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Or
I don't know that that's possible.
No, I don't know that it is.
Or the female Quark episode.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
Profit and Lace.
Yeah, Profit and Lace.
It's like that's another conversation. I did want to say, Brandon, you aren't wrong that when the dialogue is written that way in a novel that it's meant to be an accent. In the books,
like Scotty.
Oh yeah, and like
every Star Trek novel, right?
Yeah, Captain with a K for Chekhov, and that is meant as an accent. But when it's done the way it is in Gone with the Wind, there is that undertone, and that's done a lot.
Yeah,
particularly in that late 19th, early 20th century era when we got all the Confederate statues because the Klan was a big deal. So it's not that it's not an accent; there's just added.
Yeah, it's the difference between here's somebody's accent and this person is uneducated and doesn't know how to speak, right? Yeah. It's that difference. Yeah. All right. Well, that went up.
Okay, so I brought it down, but
no, it's okay.
That was a lot more serious than I expected.
What was the episode that I was all like, this is about colonialism, and you guys didn't even want to talk about it? I can't remember.
I thought I wanted to talk about it. It was something about colonialism.
No, you didn't want to talk about it before I brought up the colonialism thing, and then...
Oh.
Was that one of the short tracks? Okay, forget it. I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Maybe.
Sure.
Listeners will tell us.
Was it the Mud short track?
Yes, that's right. Because we were like 15 minutes in, we're like, there's nothing else to say. And I'm like,
nothing else. And you're like, let's talk for half an hour about colonialism in Star Trek. Yeah. That was fun.
Anyway, so another reason to be disturbed by the Packlets. And I hope we're going to see at some point that they're going to find some way to make this not
what's
just punching down. Yeah.
But what's their end game here? Like they've been this adversary and they've seen them. Like what's going to happen in the end? They just get... there's a battle and some of their ships are destroyed and they're like, well, this isn't worth it, and they just go away forever. Like where's it going? I don't know.
I was really hoping that we'd see, like, after that guy disappeared and I thought, oh, maybe he does have a plan and it's going to work. Like I wanted them to have a really dim-witted plot to get some piece of information or something that they needed that seemed very dumb and played on Starfleet underestimating the Pakleds, and therefore was successful. Like that's kind of what I was hoping we would have seen out of it, and that would have made me feel a little bit better about the Pakleds. But
or if she had walked in there, because she's like Captain Freeman's like, it's just the Pakleds, whatever. And if she'd walked in there and like the entire ruling council is incredibly intelligent and
I would have loved that.
Doesn't understand why she's underestimating them, and then she gets kind of pushed back a bit. I think that would have been a good way to deal with it. And then you can say, the rest of the Pakleds
are cannon fodder. The dumb ones go out on the ships and get killed, right?
Well, I kind of thought that we were seeing it when they called and wanted to talk to the spy, and he wasn't available. I was like, oh, this is all part of their plot, but no, it wasn't. It actually was that he was outside in space.
He really was going to the bathroom, apparently.
That giant bathroom that opens out into space periodically. Yeah,
we could have, and this could have been it could have had a super Star Trek conclusion to it by finding out that the Pakleds that are in space have some kind of causes some malformation in their brain that makes them stupid or something like that, and then Dr. Tayana would whip up something to fix it, and it would be like the Cloudminders.
That would be totally interesting, but I feel like that's way too serious to happen for them to deal with in a half hour in Lower Decks.
Oh gods, but I mean, if we wanted to redeem the Pakled, that would be how to do it.
Yeah,
I'm done now.
So what if, Justin, the season finale of this is like a big space battle between the Cerritos and a Pakled ship, and we get that, like that Riker moment where the camera just comes in and goes to Riker and the music stops and he goes fire, but we get that with Captain Freeman and she's like, "Take that, you stupid son of a bitch."
Yeah. I just don't want them to appear anymore, but I know they will because that's where they're going,
Okay, that joke did not land like I thought it was going to land. So that's just like humor does not always
Humor's
work.
not universal.
Case in point.
Humor's not universal. Exactly. There you go. So
anyway,
my jokes sometimes fall flat. Sorry. Like my cow joke, which I thought was brilliant, but that's okay.
I like the cow joke. I thought
that was not a good joke. I'm sorry.
I am laughing.
Excellent. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up here.
I guess
then.
we have to some
Thank
point.
you so much for joining us, Seth MacFarlane.
Get someone with a bigger helmet, please.
Yeah, exactly. Someone with a bigger helmet to do the outro for this show.
Where can the listeners find you online, and when will we be getting the new Swear Pakled Twitter account?
Oh my God. You can find me on all of the social medias at Aaron Reynolds, or also at Effin' Birds, which is a comic strip I write every single day, or at swear_Trek, which is where I've taken episodes of Star Trek and rewritten the dialogue and made them, a lot more relatable to me. And I have a new book coming out October 22nd in North America. It's called Greetings from Effin' Birds. It is 100 vulgar postcards to send to your friends and or enemies. I'm very proud of it. Yeah. Or both, exactly. And yes.
That's great.
I was disappointed in the last book because there was no information on birds at all.
So I think one of the greatest things about my Amazon reviews, where people, my previous book was called A Field Guide to Identification. Effin' Birds, A Field Guide to Identification. And people, if you go to Amazon and type in bird field guide and then sort by cheapest, my book comes up first. And so I get a lot of people who buy my book thinking that it is a field guide, and it is not. And their hatred in the 1-star reviews is amazing. So much so that we put a bunch of them on the back cover of the new book.
Oh, that's great.
Give me 10 seconds in some space that you can edit out, because I'm just going to grab a copy.
Oh, you're fine.
This is from the back cover of my new book, Low Effort Garbage.
Would it be better if it said high effort garbage?
No, I don't think so. I think Low Effort Garbage is, actually, my favorite was this was a person on Twitter, and he tagged me in that reply. He felt it was Low Effort Garbage, and I was like, oh, well, thank you for, letting me know. Here's a really good one. It is painfully clear that the author has no knowledge of or interest in actual birds. And vulgar and pointless, a form of pollution.
Nice.
And then this is the very best one. There are beautiful books out there about birds, but this is not one of them.
That's great. I mean,
I also put a review quote from Jane Espenson from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and, Battlestar Galactica and all that good stuff.
Did she think it was garbage too?
Beautiful.
Oh, okay.
No, she thought it was funny and legit beautiful.
That's great. Yes. But I have to say, people, like, when you're buying something, pay more attention to the titles. Like, I mean, what do you think Effin' Birds is?
Right.
Like,
well, they probably just thought it was somebody's last name, right?
Right.
Like,
that one guy, like the one guy who left such a
Effin?
negative review. His review is that it embarrassed him in front of his mother because he bought her this book and sent it to her for Mother's Day.
Oh my God.
And she was offended, and he had no idea it was going to be full of swear words and wasn't really about birds. It's like the words "eat farts" are emblazoned on the cover in huge letters. What did you think was going to be in this book?
Pay more attention, people. Pay
Yep.
more attention before you buy.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. Wonderful.
Excellent. Right on.
Well, thanks
Thank you for
for
sharing
making me
those.
laugh more than I did at the Lower Decks episode. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Don't feel sad for me. I'm fine. I'd subscribe to Paramount Plus regardless to see all the Star Trek, so it's
there
fine.
you go. See, up here in Canada, Paramount Plus doesn't have any Star Treks.
Right.
Paramount Plus up here has reruns of the Brady Bunch and I think
Woo!
NCIS.
Oh,
And
lovely.
yeah, none of the good stuff. It's all on a different service, so that's fine.
That's okay. You will be joined into our great Paramount Plus family sometime in the future.
One day, one of
Don't
these
know when,
days.
maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was great to have you here.
Thanks for having me on.
Justin, where can people find you when you're not trying to find a bigger helmet?
I don't need a bigger helmet. I don't need to be in that kind of authority. But thank you for the compliment, I guess. All right. And Lower Decks, if we're going to have Packlet episodes, let's make it one and done. Just one more. That's all I need. All right. Well, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at TrekFan4747, where I tweet about nothing but Star Trek. And I do not tag Mike McMahon when I dislike Lower Decks. I really don't. Okay, so you can also find... That didn't go over well. You can also find me on...
That's good. That's the right thing to
Also,
do,
life
people.
pro
If
tip,
you
don't do that.
like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
I tag him for you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you for being my
snitch tag.
messenger.
Snitch tagging is shitty. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Check out this guy that hates Lower Decks. All right.
Hey, Mike, this guy hates your show.
I don't even know what to say. Mike, stop making low effort garbage. No, I'm not going to say that.
Too bad.
Oh, you can also find me, if you're still listening, on Facebook in the Federation Council Chambers. That is our group for United Federation Podcasts. Hope you'll join us there. Nothing else to say. Thank you.
Excellent. Chrissy, where can people find you when you're not being absolutely chipper and positive and trying to love your job?
Wow, that's all the time. I love my job. Except when I have a stack of grading that's this tall. No.
Chrissy, why do you hate your students? No.
I know. I don't. I hate my students. I'm not a Star Trek fan, any of that. Wow, nobody clipped that soundbite. That was...
Don't ever run for political office because they will use that
say,
against
don't
you.
ever, don't ever try to host Jeopardy. That'll be
but I have the power of editing this episode, so...
Oh, that's true. Okay.
You got to leave it in because I missed the joke. I didn't even hear what you said.
You'll hear it later on the episode.
So you got to leave it in now.
Okay. All right. Yes. No, I do. I try to be positive about chipper. I don't think I've ever been described as, but positive, yes. Right. So in addition to here on Infinite Diversity, you can find me on History with the Szilagys here on the UFP Network. I do that with my fellow historian partner, Jason. And I'm happy to chat about our shows in the Federation Council Chambers on Facebook. And I'm on Twitter at the Goddess Livia. That's TheGoddessLivia, where I tweet about Star Trek, history, and leftist politics. And the hat has spoken! To invoke Stephen Colbert. Okay.
That I have seen. Huh.
Hey, all right.
And as for me, I'm you could go to my Twitter account at Brandon Matella, but you know what? I've been not active for a week. Our country is going through an election right now, and it is a very toxic place right now on social media. So I'm taking a break, and it's going to be lasting at least 30 days. So, but
That's
you know
a shame.
what?
You're going to miss all the best Star Trek. That's really a shame.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll come back,
after.
guys. I don't know.
that
I'm a
you'll come
weekend,
back.
and I don't know that I'm going to come back to social media. We'll see.
It's fine. We will cherish and love all of the time we get to podcast with you as you shut yourself off from the greater world.
Yes. Yes.
What you
This will
need
be
to
the
do is
primary way people can talk to you. Yes, go ahead.
just narrow it down. Just follow the stuff for the podcast.
That's what I do. That's why my Twitter account is nothing but Star Trek. That is all I want to see.
Nothing but Star Trek.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So you find me there. I've got a couple other shows. I got Franchise Fatigue, which is all about movies, remakes, and sequels. And as I said, we just finished up our King Kong coverage, and we are currently diving into Mad Max. And then we will do The Matrix, because we're excited for Matrix 4. And then also Good Evening, an Alfred Hitchcock podcast, where my co-hosts Chris and Tom and I cover Hitch's films in chronological order. Here on the network, we have a couple other great shows. We have All Good Things, which covers all Star Trek, and that has Amy Nelson, Patrick Devlin, and Ken Tripp. Rhea Papagiorgio, Kevin Scharf, Amy Nelson, and Joe Keegan have Galaxy Class, which is all TNG all the time. Mickey's Marvels covers everything under the Disney umbrella with Chris Tribuzio, Patrick Devlin, and Casey Pettitt. And everything that makes Arrow Arrow is covered on Always Hold On to Arrow with Lance Laster and Cavante Chillis. And last but not least, we've got Sasquatch, a Bigfoot multimedia podcast by Ken Tripp and Zach Moore. So lots of great stuff out there. Thank you very much to tuning into Infinite Diversity. Thank you to our executive producers, Ken Tripp, Tony Robinson, and Zach Moore. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Tony Robinson for the awesome show art. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, and please subscribe. If you want to reach out, you can find the network on Twitter at UFP Earth, or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. You can also talk about any and all of the UFP podcasts in our Facebook group called the Federation Council Chambers. Or you can email us at infinitediversity@UFP Earth. On the next episode, we'll be discussing the Star Trek Picard novel, Rogue Elements, with author John Jackson Miller. Until then, peace and long life!
And fewer Packlets, please.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.